Right, we're back. Yeah, it's another Reddit. Temporarily, we were liberated from this expansive vast of nothingness, but we are back, and this time we're at communism memes. So I'm sure, judging by communists, we are going to find amazingly truthful and accurate takes, and absolutely not the worst things you could possibly imagine. Now, I am going to be entirely transparent. I have seen the first two posts, and yet they don't leave much to be desired. But we will not postpone any longer. Yep, this first post. Guess which group Congress is about to give 500 million to? 500 million, sorry. You've got homeless people, and then you've got a country that's like days away from being invaded by Russia, which you would have thought that they'd dislike Russia more. Surely, because Russia is like, you can't be communist in Russia. Oh, actually, can you? Russia is far more right wing than America, so you genuinely would have thought to support Ukraine. Well, I guess it's not really a case if they don't like, but yeah, it's very unusual, very unusual. But genuinely in this situation, I think, well, Ukraine, the funding Ukraine is directly in the people's. It would directly be protect. No, it's not really our place. I mean, homeless people just lower their taxes, stop stealing their money, right? And then, boo, imagine that. If we stop stealing these people's money, a lot less of them go homeless. It's unusual, I know. So yeah, this is first one. Not really funny, but it's Reddit. What do you expect? As you can see, my standards for what is comedy on Reddit have gradually decreased, drastically even. Like I said, I have seen the first two, so I know this is another Ukraine one, and there's a lot of them. Because the first two are Ukraine. Just a couple Ukrainian democracy defenders Google Wolf's Angels and Black Sun to learn more about their wholesome insignia. No, I don't really want it, to be honest. Yeah, again, I mean, I can see the joke here. I can see the joke. It's not that. I mean, maybe it's just. I mean, it's not really for me, to be fair. So it might be funny, might not be. I'd imagine they're fascist or some ancient thing. They look kind of medieval. The US, oh, this was tragic. I saw this on Libertarian Meme. Honestly, this is tragic. Oh god, the USA isn't by any means perfect, but wow, god, that's USA, USSR. First pick is Cuba, second is Detroit. That's tragic. Why did nobody think this through? Surely you'd say that, though I don't really fact check many. But yeah, I mean, of course, it was a silly point to make, as was, to be honest. I mean, like USSR, right? Now that is what most of the USSR looked like. But Detroit's just hell. I'm pretty sure Detroit is Detroit Democrat run. We'll Google that. Because if it is, I feel like we can just disregard it. Non-partisan. What type of who controls Detroit? Right, no, that has no. I don't know. We'll try desperately. The Democrats. Why Democrats? Right, yeah. So Detroit is the Democrat then, which is to be expected. So of course that would be the response. That's Democrat. That's not. Plus, communism really does just try and make things look as good as possible. I mean, just look at Beijing. It looks great, and it's terrible. They've both existed in. Oh, we're going to get anti-Warshmans. Right, 2003, debating unhinged fascist who denies WMDs in Iraq. I lost brain cells. Walks called civil rights movement, violent and anti-democratic party. Bad optics. Why it's your duty as a leftist to support Germany in its battle against authoritarian imperialist USSR. Debating deranged tanky Karl Marx, irrelevant clout chaser. He hung up. Dude, don't try and make Vosh look good. Winston Churchill openly genocides millions through starvation in Bengal and justifies it by calling Indians subhuman. That's not true. That's not true. It was justified because he believed because it was believed that it was if it's the one I'm thinking of, that because he believed it was a Nazi-funded uprising, which had previously happened in Russia. Well, it wasn't Nazi-funded then, but it was German-funded, which led to the Soviet Union, which you'd probably say was a great thing, even though not real communism apparently. Half-baked and unproven Nazi propaganda claiming that Holodomor, is it Holodomor? I can never pronounce it right. Deniers. I mean, if we're all, I mean, Churchill, I don't know if it was a genocide, but it was a massacre, definitely. It was a massacre, unintended, but yeah. But it was intended, but you know my point. But Holodomor deniers, that's dodgy, that. But hey, communism be like. Yes, I guess I could believe it. I guess so. Sure, I'll allow it. It's a decent meme. I literally read the Communist Manifesto. I've got that. Ask me anything. I've read bits of it, not the entire thing. It's boring. I read it after reading Sun Tzu Art of War, so you know. Another comrade joins us. A tough read for me also. I do not apologise for the horrible end. Not inherently a supporter, but sure. It's not really a meme. Very interesting Kautsky, however. IP address. I have your IP address. That one, right, is an actual meme. That one is an actual joke. I like that one. I don't really know the background to it, admittedly. Lenin and Kautsky, I don't really know much about them. They're Russians, I don't really care. I've noticed a lot of this is Russian-based, which is a little alarming, but we'll move past it. And this aid, they have nothing, but they are free. Yeah! Now that is the idea there. No, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I don't really... Because freedom means you can build up. You know, I mean, if you want to, you can. We did it, Patrick. We saved the city. So noticeably, this tells us a bit more about the subreddit, because it's not anarcho-communism. It's genuinely Soviet Union communism, which is significantly less justifiable. I mean, anarcho-communism is still just unjustifiable, but it still has basis in morality. But yeah, generally, but they are free. I mean, hey, freedom comes at a cost. I'm gonna keep it real with you, NATO, OTAN. I'm not dying for Ukraine. Already planning on draft dodging. It's not about Ukraine though. I said it in the last video I did, which was Ukraine. Well, it wasn't the last one, it was the two before. But it's not about Ukraine. I mean, I don't want to die for Ukraine either. But it's more the precedent that not doing anything will give to China, which is the real problem, because Taiwan will just fall. Hong Kong, that'll be gone. Though, to be fair, this subreddit would probably celebrate that. That's an ad. No star person would ever support socialism. Most academics do. Most academics support socialism. Obviously, I'd say Albert Einstein. You know, I mean, you're a scientist, not an economic. Stay in your lane. But yeah, the smartest people do, and it's mostly because they're university trained. Obviously, university are well known for being left-wing. Their left-wing bias is frankly unrivaled. Iran may have a fleet of communist killer dolphins. Damn, that would be impressive. Flipper read Lenin and now he's mad. To be honest, I wouldn't mind having a fleet of communist killer dolphins. Why would they have communist? Iran's not really communist. Is Iran communist? I don't think it is. Muslim communist. Closest they've got is what? Palestine? Venn diagram. Democrats, some stuff about abortion, pro-choice. Acknowledge climate change, but do note about it. Republicans, some stuff about pro-life and guns, deny climate change. Israel, do Wall Street's bidding, unlimited military spending. Hostility to Russia, Iran and China. Ooh, the Democrats don't really share that against China. Full spectrum dominance, let money rule politics, neoliberalism rocks, spy on everywhere, screw the old, poor and old, oligarchy, not democracy, imperialism, outlaw third parties, crush the left, The Democrats are very well known for crushing the left. I mean, they hated Black Lives Matter, despised it. They hated it that much that they bailed them out of jail so they'd vote for them. Obviously, this is nonsense. The Democrats are rapidly left-wing. It's to a point where they hate. Whoa, Senior Razzmatazz. What is that name? What is that name? Senior Razzmatazz. I love your name, mate. Bit mentally delusional, but you know what? Fair enough. There's also the religious aspect. Republicans are religious. They're not. That's another difference. LGBTQ. Q, yeah. Black Lives Matter. Marxist basis. Well, not basis, but they're implementing a lot more of it now. Critical race theory. There's a lot left out of here, which is very manipulative. But I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Roti Hang, smiling after being sentenced to 20 years of hard labour in a prison camp by the South Vietnamese government in 1969. After being sentenced, she smiled, looked at the judge, he said, 20 years? Your government won't last that long. Ooh. Sigma female. I don't know what she did. If it was, because I know South Vietnam was a fairly dictatorship. America really did not play that war smart. I mean, they looked at dictatorship and thought, right, we'll hire a dictator to fight this dictator. It just didn't work. I don't know why they thought it would. Should have had it be democracy and freedom and that. It didn't. I don't know why. POV, you're Russian and moved your soldiers into Russia. How dare those Snoopy Russians move their troops into Russia? Oh god, our throat's still killing us. I think it's more the fact that they're moving their troops close to Ukraine, which they are actively attempting to invade. But you know what? We'll just pretend that's not happening. And then it makes your shitty meme justified. I didn't like that meme. That meme was very stupid. It completely ignored massive parts of, frankly, global news. I'm genuinely surprised that some people still don't know what's happening, which is weird. Who knows, by the time this is uploaded, the war might have already begun. Massive Lenin in the kitchen. Fair enough. Me trying to think of that's tiny of an argument after a Liberal said CP. You did Time Square, Winnie the Pooh, Super Idol John Cena, being chilling 100 credits. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but the fact that a literal massacre is put on the same list as a Winnie the Pooh is very telling of their priorities. You guys ever wonder if all of this might have been for nothing? Yeah, I don't know who they are. Squarespace, very non-communist. That's TikTok, I can't do TikTok. Two more. Parents are using the child tax credits to buy drugs. The drugs, insulin. I mean, a lot of people were using taxes to pay drugs. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, because I mean, obviously, I feel like healthcare should be provided by the state, but that it should also be provided by private companies. Like, if you can pay for it, then you should be able to get private companies. If not, at least as a basis. I mean, if you need money, just take it out of the foreign support thing. Capitalist metro, socialist metro. How in the world does that help anybody? Because obviously you get all these like, oh, it looks lovely, but that genuinely will help no one. Making it look nice doesn't help anyone. I don't know what the country is either. Also, I bet you there'll be major cities. I bet you money they will be from major cities, and realistically, they just need to burn. Last one. How the Victims of Communism Foundation gets their numbers. How come we can't deny the Holocaust, but we can deny the communist terror, the communist massacres? I've always wondered. I mean, obviously it's because one of them is more socially acceptable to deny. But yeah. That's basically it. My voice is killing us, so I'm going to end it here. But let's just say the subreddit gets it. 3 out of 10. None of them were funny. One of them was funny, sorry. One of them had the potential of being funny, shall I say. And frankly, the points were not the best. I mean, they usually just missed out information, like that one with Russia. It just missed out massive bits of information, and the rest were just denying massacres. So, it was a very diverse group of memes. But yeah, 3 out of 10, maybe 2, depending on what I rank the other 2, frankly. But yeah, that's about it. Still not got an outro, so, tra.